Hello, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Bible and Revelations. I'm going to be reading this week Daniel 8. Last week I went over the 10-minute limit, and what I did was I just posted the other partial file, because this camera separates them into 10-minute units. 10 minutes at 1080p, 30 minutes at 780p. Because of a law in Europe, if you record over 30 minutes at the time was 780p, that's the resolution. Now the resolution is better at 1080p, 1080 pixels per inch. So it's higher resolution. So instead of 30-minute limit, now it's 10-minute limit. If you were doing over 30 minutes, they assumed you were making a movie. So they added a $250 tax to the camera. So nobody made cameras that went over 30 minutes. I didn't know that when I bought this camera. Anyway, so I'm just gonna keep reading until I'm done with Daniel 8. And if it separates into 2 or 3 10-minute blocks, I would just post them all the same day. It'll be like part A, B, and C. And if you want to finish the message, just go ahead and click the next one. I'm still learning. I'm still practicing to learn how to make videos on my laptop, which I think I could do with better audio. Like, you won't hear my air conditioner. Better audio and video, and I could put different pictures in the background. But I'm working 70 hours a week, so I don't know when I'll have time to do that. Anyway, no time constraints. I'm just going to separate it into 2 or 3 episodes if I have to. Daniel 8. In the 3rd year of the kingship of Belshazzar, in the kingship of Belshazzar the king, there was a vision that appeared to me, Daniel, even me, Daniel. Oh, then he says his name, Daniel. Even me, Daniel. After the one appearing to me at the start. And I began to see in the vision, and it came about while I was seeing that I was in Shushan, the castle, which is in Elam, the jurisdictional district. And I proceeded to see in the vision, and I myself happened to be by the watercourse of Ulai when I raised my eyes. Then I saw, and look, a ram standing before the watercourse, and it had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were tall, but the one was taller than the other, and the taller was the one that came up afterward. I saw the ram making thrust excuse me, I'm dehydrated. I saw the ram making thrust to the west and to the north and to the south, and no wild beast kept standing before it. There was no one doing any delivering out of its hand, and it did according to its will, and it put on great airs. And I, for my part, kept on considering, and look, there was a male of the goats coming from the sunset, That's from the west. Upon the surface of the whole earth. And it was not touching the earth. And as regards the he-goat, there was a conspicuous horn between its eyes, and it kept coming all the way to the ram, possessing the two horns, which I had seen standing before the watercourse. And it came running toward in its powerful rage, and I saw it coming into close touch with the ram. And it began showing bitterness toward it, and it proceeded to strike down the ram and to break its two horns. And there proved to be no power in the ram to stand before it. So it threw it to the earth and trampled it down, and the ram proved to have no deliverer out of its hand. So the goat comes from the west, attacks this ram that is running rampant over the earth, doing whatever it wanted in very confident manner, had no challenger. But this he-goat comes from the west and just gores them with these two horns until he breaks two horns. And the male of the goats, for its part, put on great airs. Excuse me. To an extreme. But as soon as it became mighty, the great horn was broken, and there proceeded to come up conspicuously. So the biggest horn broke off, and four more horns popped up. Came up conspicuously, four instead of it, toward the four winds of the heavens. And out of one of them there came forth another horn, a small one, and it kept getting very much greater toward the south and toward the sunrise. The south and the east. The sun rises in the east. And toward the decoration. And it kept getting greater all the way to the army of the heavens, so that it caused some of the army and some of the stars to fall to the earth. Maybe he's talking about airplanes and missiles coming down. And it went trampling them down, and all the way to the prince of the army it put on great airs, and from him the constant feature was taken away, and the established place of his sanctuary was thrown down, and an army itself was gradually given over, together with the constant feature, because of the transgression, and it kept throwing truth to the earth, and it acted and had success. We'll continue Daniel 8, starting at verse 11, trampling them down, and all the way to the prince of the army it put on great airs, and from him the constant feature was taken away, and the established place of his sanctuary was thrown down, and an army itself was gradually given over, together with the constant feature, because of transgression, and it kept throwing truth to the earth, and it acted and it had success. And I got to hear a certain holy one speaking, and another holy one proceeded to say to the particular one who was speaking, "How long will the vision be of the constant feature and of the transgression causing desolation, to make both the holy place and the army things to trample on?" So he said to me, "Until 2,300 evenings and mornings, and the holy place will certainly be brought into its right condition." Then it came about that while I myself, Daniel, was seeing the vision and seeking an understanding, why look, there was standing in front of me someone in appearance like an able-bodied man, and I began to hear the voice of an earthling man in the midst of the Ulai. I think that's like a river. And he proceeded to call out and say, Gabriel, make that one there understand the thing seen. So I think he's ordering the Angel Gabriel to give comprehension somehow to Daniel. Understand the thing seen. So he came beside where I was standing. But when he came, I got terrified so that I fell upon my face. And he proceeded to say to me, Understand, O Son of Man, that the vision is for the time of the end. Oh, and while he was speaking with me, I had become fast asleep on my face on the earth. So he touched me and made me stand up where I had been standing. And he went on to say, Here, I am causing you to know what will occur in the final part of the denunciation, because it is for the appointed time of the end. The ram that you saw, possessing the 2 horns, stands for the kings of Media and Persia. Media was a state smaller than Persia, but they were partners. The 2 horns stands for the kings of Media and the king of Persia. And the hairy he-goat stands for the king